Hello, my name is Brian Maurer and I'm with Morrison-Shipley Engineers. I am the engineering design consultant for the South Main Street improvements here in Bentonville. And on behalf of the City of Bentonville, I'm going to provide a brief presentation just outlining the overall improvements for the project. So we'll get started. The City of Bentonville essentially proposes to make improvements to South Main Street. It's essentially a streetscape type improvement, and the improvement will be it's approximately half a mile, and it'll be between 2nd Street to the north and 8th Street to the south. If you'll notice, 2nd Street where we end is just about a block south of Bentonville Square, and we will be doing improvements within that intersection. And you might notice that as we approach 8th Street here at the south end, the yellow shade stops slightly short, and that is because 8th Street is proposed to be widened on a future separate project, and that connection will be made with that project. As with any project, the city always has objectives and goals for the project, and here we have a handful of those, and they include to narrow South Main Street to 11-foot drive lanes to slow traffic and create a more pedestrian-friendly environment. Today, as they exist, the drive lanes for South Main Street are approximately 14 feet wide, and by reducing that, we're hopeful that that will impact driver behavior, and they will naturally want to slow down and to better accommodate pedestrian traffic. Another goal is to improve pedestrian access and trailer interconnectivity by adding 9-foot wide sidewalks on both sides of South Main Street, including decorative crosswalks. We will also be reconfiguring on-street parking areas to improve traffic safety, adding a left turn lane at the intersection with 8th Street, and as I said before, we were starting to widen South Main Street, but we will not go all the way to 8th. That turn lane will actually occur for the most part on the 8th Street project in the future. We will also be installing trees, landscaping, and lighting along both sides of Main Street. And we will also be improving some drainage issues that are currently near the intersection with 4th Street, and that's just to increase driver safety and bike and pedestrian safety. Here we have a typical street section proposed for South Main Street, and as you can see, we're proposing 11-foot drive lanes and 9-foot on-street parking, and that will be periodic. It will be intermittent on both sides of the street, all the way for the length of the project. Also, as you can see, the 9-foot concrete sidewalks on both sides, and we'll be lining the street on both sides with trees and lamp poles. Here we have a typical plan view, or if you will, an overhead view. And as you can see, South Main Street's a 2-lane street. We'll be replacing the curb and gutter all the way. As you can see, we have, in some places, on-street parking where you can see the cars are parked on either side. We will have sidewalk, 9-foot sidewalk on both sides. Decorative crosswalks, you can see here. We'll be adding, and in this case, in this condition right here, that's actually an existing Bentonville trail right there. We'll be accommodating right there. There will also be, as you can see, the trees on both sides of the street, line both sides. You'll notice as well on the top half where the street is shaded more gray, and the bottom half where the shading stops. What that is from 8th Street to 4th Street, we'll be overlaying with a new asphalt overlay for South Main Street. Everything north of 4th Street will remain as it is because that was recently overlaid. Here's an example of some tree grates that we will be setting in the sidewalks for the trees. They will all be in the sidewalks. These grates are a pretty fair representation of what will be implemented for the Bentonville South Main Street project. The purpose of the tree grates is primarily to add or increase pedestrian access on the sidewalk, and it allows pedestrian traffic flow to flow over the tree zone and not damage the tree zone. It also provides sufficient space for the tree to grow, and as a secondary positive, it will also limit debris or litter buildup around the tree zone. This is actually a picture of a crosswalk at Bentonville Square, and this is a good representation of the type of decorative crosswalks we will be we'll be installing with Bentonville with the South Main Street project. I believe that this right here it looks like it's a brick paver, but I think this project will be a stamped concrete instead. But it will be a very similar look, and I think that this is a fair representation of what will happen on South Main Street for all their crosswalks. The gray area, you can maybe see in the slide, is kind of cut off in the far left corner. That is actually within the intersection itself, and that is also proposed for our 2nd Street intersection to set stamped concrete in the entire intersection with crosswalks all the way around. And these photos just represent kind of a goal of the city to create what we call a living room effect, if you will, by providing benches and trash receptacles, street lamps and tree planters. As you know, South Main Street assists in serving various city-sponsored events like the Christmas parade each year, and it's always the goal to create an inviting environment, an effort to enhance that experience and also enhance the experience of our citizens and the pedestrians in general. So our construction schedule, the project construction schedule, it's estimated to start in early 2021. We expect around February, and we believe it'll be a 6 to 8 month long duration and ending sometime late summer, early fall, or around September of 2021. The estimated project cost, it ranges between $2 million and $3 million. So that concludes the presentation. We hope it was informative, and we thank you for your interest, and we hope to hear from you with any questions or comments. Thank you.